Guten Tag.
Guten Nacht.
Guten Nacht.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, somebody didn't study her German before the call.
9.
Hey, everybody, it is Ryan here from Beer on the Wall, coming to you live with Josh from Park Ridge. And joining us today from Arlington Heights, we've got Matt and Biz. This is Biz's first showing. We were just discussing how when we were doing these virtual pubs before, it was a lot more fun because you could have like 4 very different styles of beer. This is going to be very interesting because we're going to have the differences between these 4 beers are going to be very subtle. We're not going to have crazy standouts of this one tastes like melons and this one tastes like chocolate. They're all going to kind of taste pretty much the same. We're hoping with some subtle differences. So thanks to Biz for jumping in on this one and on this, your first call, one that's going to be just all about the subtleties today.
They're also going to all be awesome beers. I mean, sometimes we roll the dice with some of the picks,
Yes.
right? Where we don't really know what we're getting into. We're like, well, this could go any of which 2 ways. But tonight, like these 4 beers, we're probably safe. They're probably all going to be great.
Right. And of course, people are already noting that I have a Oktoberfest background. This is basically nightmare fuel now. Like, can you imagine this now in 2020? Like, this is scary as hell. So this is basically just like a giant evil clown behind me right now.
Same picture, same idea.
Yeah, same idea. Just one
like
of them
a clown
is gonna
birthday party.
Right. Both of them are scary as hell. So should we just jump right in, start drinking a beer, and kind of talk along the way? I don't know when the order picked out. I figured we'd just start with the Ayinger because it comes first alphabetically. We'll just go alphabetically today.
And their beautiful bottle cap, beautiful scene.
Aha! I remembered a bottle opener. This is good.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's like one of those street artists who paints with the head of a pin, or maybe he paints on the head of a pin. What's the deal with those guys?
Yeah,
it's so tiny, and you get real close, and you're like, oh
those,
man, you're like, look at all that detail. I mean, this is great. This little scene is. I wish more people did this, but of course, it's not, we don't get bottles anymore, so that revolution is over. It's just gonna.
I think we know we got 3 Floyds to rely on for their beautiful green purple swirl.
Those are nice. Yeah, those are nice. But why can't folks do like artwork on the tab? Not the tab, but the part that pushes into the can of the beer. Why can't we put a little pastoral scene on there?
I don't know. I mean, that does touch the beer, so maybe it wouldn't be the best thing. But
I guess I thought this was a half-liter bottle for some reason because it's shaped differently, but I poured myself like maybe half a cup, and this looks pretty lame.
You can get they have the 16.9s, I think, as well.
Yeah.
You can get either one.
Ryan, I thought this was a hazy show.
There's no vanilla in this show, Joe.
Come on.
Josh. Joe? Did I just call you Joe?
I tip out, man.
Sorry. Josh. Hi, Josh. There's no vanilla in this. Sorry. Maybe if things get crazy, you can just start dropping vanilla extract and things.
Oh yeah, I got plenty.
Chicken is saying scrimshaw. Is that something for pin painting?
Oh no, maybe the brewery.
Wait,
I don't know. He just
the North Coast beer. Wait, but is he trying to give me some more information about what I was asking about?
I don't know. He just said scrimshaw, and I'm I'm trying to work back the time to figure out maybe that's what
that means.
I don't know either. But it was your thing. I'm just trying to help out.
It's probably he's probably giving me good information. Oh man, instantly get whisked away to a festival.
Yep,
oh,
I'm whisked away into a giant loaf of bread, a nice, just right into a bakery,
and a big pile of leaves.
Yep, a little bit of earthiness for sure.
The color's great.
Thought we'd start off with something like super authentic. This is a Fest-Marzen. I don't know if we have enough time in the day to explain the entire history of Märzen, Festbier, Oktoberfest, and the whole difference. But basically, for yous watching at home, Oktoberfest, much like Prosecco and Kolsch and Champagne, in order to be an actual Oktoberfest beer, you have to be in Munich and you have to be serving it at Oktoberfest. So most beers are not Oktoberfests. Therefore, if you are not serving it on Oktoberfest, you either have a Märzen or a Festbier. And a Märzen is traditionally the style that they would serve for those kind of things. It comes out amber in color like this. Tends to be very malt forward. You don't get a whole lot of hop character to these. And then in 1990, Spaten kind of screwed everybody over and made things extra confusing by saying, wouldn't it be nice to come to our Oktoberfest and have a lighter beer that we could drink more of? And the people said yes, which is a big deal for Germans. They tend to stick to tradition. They don't change things very easily. So this transition into a lighter beer for Oktoberfest was a pretty big deal. But now you have mass confusion, because if you have an Oktoberfest style beer, it should be light in color. So a Fest beer is traditionally lighter in color and lower ABV, and a Märzen is an Oktoberfest beer that has a darker color and more caramel notes, and it's not really worth going into more than that. I've already said too much. Do you like the beer? Then drink it. That's about it.
It's not worth splitting the hairs in our market, especially because if you're going for who's doing the most traditional or whatever, and we'll get into that with our two local beers today. But they're definitely. I mean, the main thing is going for some malty goodness, bready and delicious, and should get you thinking fall, even though we got a streak of mid 90 some days. Yeah, we had a nice cool down, a little bit after that, or a little bit before this week. But yeah, we're in a scorcher summer, but this is a little preview of more to come, and pretty much everyone makes one because it's a nice ode to a new season.
Josh, you're officially being challenged to drop some vanilla ice cream and make an Oktoberfest float.
You're just talking. I don't have any vanilla ice cream. We were just talking last night. We made some cherry turnover sort of puff pastry deal, and we could have really used some ice cream, but I didn't get any at the store. So I don't know. If I'm gone for 20 minutes, I'm making my own. So forgive me. It's not going to happen.
I think my favorite thing about this is just that you can give this beer a swirl, and no matter what, for a good half hour, you just get this nice finger of foam coming up the top, and it really just brings out this big bready, malty flavor. I haven't even tried this yet. You guys are almost done with your pours. I should stop talking.
Awesome. It's awesome.
Not sorry.
I have not had this in a long time. It is great.
I like the sweetness on there. I mean, it's so easy to drink, and we keep talking about the breadiness, but I'm noticing how surprisingly sweet it is.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, and Biz is a you tend to like more IPAs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this, and I don't know, it's mostly what I drink because that's just usually what someone's giving to me. But yeah, these tend to be very sweet if you haven't had something very malty in a while. I mean, it's also close to 6% too. So for a German lager, you're gonna have a lot of residual left over. But yeah, this is about as darn near perfect as you get. Just like that, like sweet bread note, touch of nuttiness. Like Matt was saying, like fallen leaves and earthy sort of hoppy notes in there.
Yeah, the end is really, really earthy. It's just sort of
no haze at all.
It hangs out with you for a while after you're done too. Like each sip goes on for a while.
Yeah,
back of your tongue. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's definitely a different experience than what a lot of people are drinking, and obviously IPAs these days are trending sweeter and sweeter, but obviously a traditional IPA is going to be quite the opposite, with the bitterness and a lot more floral notes rather than sweet and bready, and so this is kind of like a nice reset for anyone that's been drinking a lot of traditional house IPAs and stuff like that, or even West Coast. Is pretty much the other end of the scale, aside from maybe even going into barley wine territory of breadiness and whatnot. But yeah, light, easy drinking. Maybe would you say this was maybe one of the older styles of like an amber ale or something like that that's been around?
Yeah, this is kind of the German equivalent of an amber.
Amber's like English traditional, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's the typical malts you'll see in this are Munich malts, which tend to have, and you're getting a lot more like a caramel flavor to it, like just a little bit of like almost like a honey, like buttery biscuits and lightly sweet breads. But yeah, definitely like a touch of nuttiness to them as well, which you don't get with English ales. English ales tend to be a little more just straight on, almost like, I'm trying to think of a good bread term, but I can't find it at the moment. I'll come back to it. It'll come to me. But it's interesting you said barley wine, because as soon as you said it, I definitely started like going that direction and be like, yeah, if you brought the ABV of this up, you could definitely get into barley wine territory.
I mean, it's got a really rich finish. I mean, I understand it's light in color and it's light when it first hits your tongue, but it's got a really deep, earthy finish that goes on for a while. And like, if I had my eyes closed, I might think this beer is darker than it is, based on the finish. I mean, it's got some real roasty notes that remind me of like a porter or something at the very end.
And even compared to, I mean, I'll be curious to see some of these other ones, especially the American ones we have tonight. But yeah, when I first poured it out, I wasn't expecting it to be darker, but it's definitely a little on the lighter end in the spectrum that we expect to see. So, but it's pretty thick, pretty malty, and it's going down real easy.
Yeah.
Brian, did you catch up yet?
I think I'm still behind, but I also, I don't, my beer fridge down in the basement is so cold. It's an old fridge from like 1987, and they don't make them like they used to. Like this fridge gets down to like 36, and it's not energy efficient, and it just skyrockets the power bill. But boy, does it keep your beer cold. And I forgot to yank all the beers out before the show here, so things are a little colder than I like.
A little crispy.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, yeah, for this type of beer, it's like, I mean, I'm sure it'd be great cold also, but mine's already warming up, and like, I love the way it's developing the longer I have it here. I'm all in on this. I don't think I need to have any others tonight.
Hey.
It's like all the people that come into the store now and say like, it's still a little too soon for Oktoberfests, and
we'll try sitting in your basement where it's cool.
And to that, I always kind of agree. It's like, nah, boy, we're like really jumping the shark with seasons. How long until Sam Adams is putting out pumpkin beers like year round? We have them to thank for the August 1st pumpkin release, by the way. So if you want to blame somebody for seasonal creep, that's Sam Adams. But when it comes to Oktoberfest, like I'll drink them just much like I'll have soup in the middle of summer and I'll have ice cream in the middle of winter. Like, I don't need a reason to drink Oktoberfest. And as the saying goes, Oktoberfest is just a Märzen, not an October. So if it's November and you feel like you don't want to drink an Oktoberfest, just drink a Märzen. It's the same thing.
Well, and also, let's just to be clear, although it's called Oktoberfest, it starts in the middle of September. So it can be misleading. Right. It's not an October thing. It like finishes right at the beginning of October. Right. So, we're not as far off as it might seem when you say the word October.
Yeah, we're getting some people loving your fall leaves comment. Oktoberfest season starts when school starts.
Over there.
Time for like 2 extra ABV points and a little something sweeter. But too, like when you try this and like it's like, oh yeah, I'm ready for fall. Like this just screams like I'm ready. Mm-hmm. I'm putting my hoodie back on and getting to work.
Yeah, it's like you're enjoying this at the bottom of a pile of leaves, or maybe you're in the backyard and someone's burning leaves nearby while you're caramelizing an apple. I'm not sure.
Wait, we're not doing smoked beers tonight, are we?
Well, again, it's the way it sits in the back of the back corners of my mouth. I kind of feel like there's even some smokiness to it. I don't know. There's a faint whiff of burning leaves in the air.
There you go.
It's great.
All right, I'm trying to catch up. Getting there. Almost done.
Like you should be allowed to walk around, kind of like the way people walk around with Starbucks, and they have it sort of with their hands on both sides of it, and they have a scarf maybe, and they walk around town and they got their cup of coffee or whatever. And of course, we hope it's dark matter and we hope it's coffee from off the wall. But there's an image of a guy, the guy who's like just reading poetry and he's got a scarf on and he's excited for fall. It's like
put this on a green card.
But you should be allowed to walk around with this.
Right.
Not drive around. We should be in a perfect world. You could walk around with one of these. You know what I mean?
Just in a park with with just a perfect layer of leaves that's
Unless-
just there year round.
Just walking around with this.
Unless
You
you're
know,
in the
waiting for
Arlington
the train,
Heights,
waiting
unless
for
you're in the
us.
Arlington Heights al fresco, in which case, no. Put that beer back in the al fresco area, please, sir.
Yes.
Both,
Yeah, that's
both,
true.
Both stores for sure. Yeah, this is a fantasy right now. Okay, not reality. It's not going to be anytime soon. Just
Look at the nightmare behind me.
nightmare.
This is a fantasy. This does not exist.
Right.
The lighting just got really weird on my face when I said that.
We should mention the that when it was announced that Arlington Heights would close down a few streets downtown and offer Arlington al fresco, Ryan, it was your idea to turn our little outdoor area into a mini Oktoberfest, and so we've sort of made a point to having, maybe a few more European options than we might normally have on draft. And we've got some German-inspired items on the menu, and you've got your blue and white cheap plastic flags hanging. And
I
we're
don't even
trying
talk
to do
about
it
those
up.
are only the finest flags were purchased.
Yeah, we finally went cheap.
We're
Well,
trying to do it up.
the soft pretzels are excellent.
That's what I've heard.
Ready. They go great with beer. We've got our Bavarian nachos, a little bit of sauerkraut on top. We've got our sausages. So we've definitely got the Oktoberfest theme going.
Biz, do you feel like do people take? I mean, do you get the impression that any of the customers that are out there in the al fresco area do any of them revel in the Oktoberfest vibe? Is that a thing at all, or is it lost on most folks, or are people feeling it?
No, some people are feeling it. I do get that. People get it. They understand from the menu. I think the menu really helps them enter into it. So they see, oh, you're totally
Yeah.
Oktoberfest theme.
And Ryan, you chose a very Oktoberfestian font for the menu, and there are a few German puns on there as well. That
I
goes
will
a long way.
transition. I'll transition back to the On Tap Tonight screen just for people.
Yeah, it looks really good. Nice.
Just this font right here. This is what This is what Matt's talking about. This is on the menu at Beer on the Wall. So
What is the
we
name of that
we
font?
paid 99 cents for that font. So enjoy it.
Is it called like Märzen or
It's called like Deutsch something or other.
just called Munich?
Yeah, something like that.
We should keep moving, right?
Yeah, we should definitely keep moving.
Indeed.
We should definitely
Well,
keep
I think
moving.
we're gonna flip flop, right? We're gonna go American next.
Gonna go American. Let's go to the Dovetail, shall we?
A little DT.
That was so good, man.
Must be
I'm not somebody who's like specifically, like counts the days like to Oktoberfest each year. I don't. I like them, but I don't know. But I have to say that was a real eye opener for me. Even though I've had that beer before, it's been a while, and I don't know. I'm all on board this time. I'm loving that. I'm already thinking about next year's Oktoberfest.
I do have one last tasting note from the previous one, but I want to wait until we get into this one and also the other import because I'm curious to see the big picture, and I didn't want to do power of suggestion, but it's something I'm pretty sensitive to, and it's a kind of fruit that was coming out a little bit.
Oh, durian fruit.
Yeah, no, but
I'm just kidding.
not one of my favorites. None. But, we'll see
Good
how,
question. No one likes durians.
First.
This one kind of foamed up on me a little bit here as I opened this one up.
So poured it a little harder. It's definitely a little darker. I would say a little less clear. Just
I
as
agree.
good.
Let's clear.
I mean, it's definitely filtered, but compared to
Oh,
a little more orange.
oh,
Whoa. Hey, buddy. Not me.
what's going on here?
I don't know,
What'd
you're
you do?
shaking,
You
you're
poured-
shaking them up?
I'm telling you, as soon as I opened it, it already it foamed over on me. When I opened it, I got some on my hands and stuff. I just took it from my fridge. It's been sitting in my fridge for, like a week straight. I just brought it down here, like 12 steps. I don't know. That's a little weird.
That is a little weird.
Also, I noticed with the mug, with the mug that we gave away here, which is actually the mug from last year's Oktoberfest,
So
food truck inspired Oktoberfest. The one thing it's weird is like maybe it's a left-hander's mug. But when you hold it with the right hand, isn't the image supposed to be facing away at your buddies?
I don't know. I mean,
But if you're left-handed, it's perfect.
no, it's true. I mean, I guess I bought these stupid things, so. But yeah, I kind of just said that they have like when you put the image on, you can put it on the
I've been
front
doing
or the
lefty.
back.
Feels good. Is it just me?
I'm gonna do left. Maybe I'll do lefty on this one. I'm not gonna be able to.
I got my Chicago mug.
Look at how much I have to get through.
Yeah, that's a lot.
What happened? I don't.
Now, instantly, this is a very different beer.
You drink out of the can.
All right, I'm gonna say it because I feel like it smells even more so on this one than the previous, but I get like grape soda.
I was gonna say
Interesting.
I would say like dried cherries or cranberries or something.
Yeah, like
It is super different.
Yeah.
It's now. I'm gonna guess that yours is not nearly as bubbly as mine. Mine is really effervescent, which is a little surprising, and I'm not sure if it's supposed to be.
Similar to the last one. I mean, it definitely foams up.
Mine tickles.
I also think it's more of a temperature thing. Like, I don't know if Ryan's getting it because his are ice cold, but as it warms up, I feel like the fruitiness comes out more. Which I assume is probably just from the yeast that's used, probably not from the malts or the hops. But.
Biz, what were you saying?
I was trying to talk about how this one isn't as happy as the last one. It's a lot softer on mine.
It doesn't finish as dry, and like we go back to those burnt leaves. Like I don't think it has that complexity that the Ayinger did. Like that one just kind of came in waves of flavor. This one kind of, I still like it. I'm not saying it's anything bad. I'm just saying it's a very different beer than the Ayinger. That had a little bit more bitterness to it and finished a lot drier. This one has a little more residual sweetness to it.
Yeah, I totally agree with the softness. Like that's something I think a lot of people glaze over is that the mouthfeel, it can really affect how you're drinking it, and this one is like pillows at the end.
Yeah, I like pillows.
You're saying, Biz, you're a fan of the pillows?
Well, I think that's a great word to describe what I'm tasting.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
It's definitely part of the experience.
But I am trying to figure out if I have a different canned experience here happening, because again, I'm getting tons of bubbles on my tongue when I first put this up in my mouth. Is yours like super carbonated? Mine's really carbonated.
Super, but
mine's 717. It says make party. Julian,
yeah, like mine's bubbly enough that I can't like hold it in my mouth with my mouth closed. I have to like. It's
Julian,
interesting.
Julian online said the same thing happened to him.
Maybe it's just certain cans got a little extra oomph.
Yeah, but it still tastes nice, and I agree. And it does finish pillowy, but up front it's like tons of bubbles on my tongue. It's pretty crazy. But
yeah, Matthew Geary is saying great pixie sticks.
Oh.
I used I used Fun Dip in a recent discussion of a beer, and I get a little bit of Fun Dip.
Yeah, I'm pretty sensitive to like that artificial grape, like especially like grape Gatorade. Just like I hate it so much. So I know it comes up in like Kolsch's too, like real traditional Kolsch's, like Kid Kolsch from New Glarus, and I've tasted that, but just the hint of it. Like if I focus on it, it really comes out, but it's still sweet bready notes, and yeah, I mean the finish on it is like
it's great.
It just makes it need to keep going back in.
And I get, but yeah, like this one, I taste a lot more of this on the roof of my mouth than I did the last one. The last one was all kind of like the lower parts of my mouth, but this one like hits the roof of my mouth, which again is like a points to the fruitiness that you're talking about.
Yeah, I think Matt, you're having your own experience over there, but it's definitely more carbonated than the previous. But I think you're at a different level, right? And you're not alone. It sounds like.
We'll go back to this other one, I think.
And I think actually all four of ours came from Park Ridge. I don't think we actually had.
No. What?
Or yours are from Arlington?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm sure they were delivered, minutes apart. But yeah, I mean this one, this one you can't see through.
Yeah, it's
a
little more chill haze in mine for sure.
I mean, we have different lighting, obviously, but like, look at that.
Yeah.
This is obviously a somewhat translucent mug, though, too. But like, wow. I would have never in a million years said grape soda, but you said that, and it's like I kind of see what you're saying, but it never would have occurred to me. But that's an interesting one, and I get it. I get why you say that.
Yeah, I have like dried cherries and like a little bit of like allspice or some kind of
cardamom.
Maybe I want to say something more like a little more like spicy, like a spicy spice, like a spicy spice.
Oh, one of the spicier spices.
Spicier
sure.
spices.
Sure,
right.
yeah. Biz, what
I
are
don't know,
some spicier spices?
like a clove or like one of the winter spices. This is giving me a look like winter spice. You crazy.
Yeah, no, it's not coming across as too spicy or peppery to me.
Listen, I say it all the time. You don't have to listen to what Ryan says.
I mean, during the day and stuff, since, yes, you do have to listen during the day, but when we're on these calls,
Notes are...
gloves are off.
Well, we all know Ryan can't handle his spice, so...
I was eating chicken curry before I got here. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Maybe that's the problem.
I'm gonna go back upstairs where I'm appreciated.
No.
I'm just saying, Liz, if you want, maybe a little sneak peek for all 5,000. It's 5,000 people watching, right, Ryan? Or is it 50,000?
9. We're at 9,000.
I got in AH. I've got 10. Oh, now it's 9.
9,000.
Listen, I'd like to see some comments though on the AH feed. You got a few on the Park Ridge feed. The AH feed, they're all lurkers. No one's saying anything. Let's get some questions going here.
But we are talking about Ryan. Ryan does some really amazing beer reviews. If you are crafty enough to find him on Untapped, but we might.
It's not hard.
If you don't want to, we might bring it to you sometime soon in a new series. So just keep an eye out. A little sneak peek for you. Exclusive pub night, but I think you're going to enjoy it because they are colorful and many words, many I don't know. I don't think you say vanilla enough, but that's just me. And I think it'll be a good time.
I mean, if the vanilla is obvious, I leave that out of my tasting notes because for you to discover on your own.
Biz hasn't heard about this. Biz, we're talking about giving Ryan his own sort of deep thoughts type show.
Yeah, no, Nick told me all about it.
Oh, Nick, okay. Okay, good. Yeah,
I mean,
it's
Nick
real funny.
So
and this weekend,
I
Nick,
sure hope he's spreading the love around. Yeah.
or this weekend, Ryan says he got some footage of children playing like on the beach or something. Is that right?
Splash pad, yep.
Splash pad, okay. Playing the background.
All 14 parents that were watching,
Writes over the. Mm-hmm.
All 14 parents watching me record the splash pad with my phone were just like, "Excuse me, sir.
Oh, right, sure.
Can you stop that?"
They're like, oh no, it's for a beer show.
No, it's for a beer review show. It's fine. No, listen, it's for beer. It's okay.
No, dude, it's totally cool.
Listen, I'm a professional.
Yeah.
I have virtual backgrounds. I'm a professional.
Right. Man, I could really use a big soft pretzel right now.
Why'd you say that out loud?
Oh, that's mean.
Maybe just cheese curds, but I don't know. It's just me. Maybe just some fast food brat. I don't know.
All those available. And Biz, I have to say, like you've probably been more familiar with the kitchen than I am over there, just because I'm not there as much as I am. Like, but when we first put the Bavarian nachos on there, I remember having a discussion like, what are the chances that, like, what percentage of people actually keep the sauerkraut on the Bavarian nachos? And I think I thought it was gonna be less than 50%. But I think last we talked, you said it's still like only one person has ever removed it.
Yeah, I don't think that person ordered for me. Everybody who orders them keeps the sauerkraut on there.
Did that person remove it manually after the fact, or ask for it to be removed professionally by the kitchen experts?
I think they asked for it to be professional.
Omitted. Perhaps omitted is probably the right term.
Okay.
Right. This is how seriously we take ourselves, folks.
But did you omit the sauerkraut?
Right.
Yeah, we just didn't put it on. We didn't have to professionally remove it.
It's funny.
We had a professional remove it, and by that I mean Biz did not place it on top of the nachos.
One and only. Right.
Yes.
My beer is settling down a little bit, and I will say that this one hits all parts of my mouth, whereas the other one was a little more, like I said, it was kind of a lower, earthier, hanging in the bottom part of your mouth sort of beer. But this one actually, I tasted all over my mouth, and that's pretty fun. I guess I feel like it's got maybe some more fireworks than the first one, but I also think the first one's a little more complex, as you said.
Too, the Dovetail is 6.7%, which is hefty. The previous was 5.8, so we're almost talking a whole percentage higher, and it really doesn't come off like that.
No.
Listen, you guys got to go back and try a sip of the Ayinger after drinking this. Like, go back
Right,
and have a
finish
sip of the
mine.
Ayinger. What?
You finished
another one.
11 ounces.
Drink the whole thing.
Are you gonna?
I was really feeling it. I tried to tell you guys on the Zoom that I was really feeling it. I thought it was awesome, and I was really glad to be having it. Yeah, I finished it.
Well, maybe we're gonna move on to the Hacker-Pschorr now. So maybe when we try the Hacker, we'll get.
Yeah, I like it.
But I'm telling you,
going back to the Ayinger is a good call.
Is insane. It is so crazy. It is so much drier, and there's like so less fruitiness.
Yeah.
Like so much less fruitiness.
Also, the Ayinger bottle is awesome. Can I just say, it's just awesome.
Primo.
The color. I mean,
Hacker. Okay, so Matt's gonna chug this one in one gulp because it's also 11.2.
Well, but compared to the beer, I mean, I know we often start with a Pilsner or a lager. We do our when we do our pub packs normally, but like pretty quickly, we're usually doing 16-ounce cans, if not all four of them. I mean, I don't know. This one just went down real easy. I didn't finish the second one yet. I mean, I'm only halfway through the.
You don't have to explain yourself.
I didn't taste
You do you, man.
before.
What's that?
I didn't taste the smokiness before on the Ayinger, but now that I went back to it and I was able to taste it compared to the Dovetail, now I before I just wasn't getting it, but now I do.
Cool. Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, not smoked in the sense of a smoked lager necessarily, or smoked malts, but just like a hint of. I mean, I guess that's just like roastiness. You get fall leaves, and then you think about roastiness, and then you kind of think about leaves on fire.
You always set everything on fire.
But I was loving that.
You don't have to,
So when I was only in.
I mean, that's a power move.
So classic.
Not anyone can pull that off and not spill your beer.
I didn't realize she was riding a horse. That's impressive.
Yeah, so just
what did you think? What did you think she was on?
I didn't realize. I don't know. I just kind of just looked. I was like, just graphic. I didn't even.
Yeah, generic graphic, and a nice subtle date of 1417. Talk about old brewing.
17. Wow.
It's about
Ayinger was like 1880 something.
600 years old or something.
Yeah.
So I've been to Munich for exactly 2 days, and of course, like the moment we arrived, we went straight to a beer hall, and literally within 10 minutes, the locals can always spot Americans like instantly. Although to be fair, at the time, I had a ponytail, I had a blonde ponytail, so I think I fit in better with the Germans than the people I was with did, but that's neither here nor there. Within 10 minutes, literally, they had us standing on our benches singing Mein Hut der hat drei Ecken, which is my hat. It has three corners, which is like a typical like German drinking song. Literally, within 10 minutes, like drinks in the air, and they were teaching us the lyrics to that song. It was so fun, so awesome. They could just tell.
If you have 2 days, you can't waste time. Like 10 minutes tops. You have to learn the song and get after it.
Matt, you didn't quiz them on like their knowledge of Märzen versus Oktoberfest versus Festbier versus
No, listen.
English amber ale.
Oh.
Of course not, because it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and also I was 20, so I was in college, so I had recently gotten excited about Murphy's Irish Stout, but other than that, I didn't know much about good beer.
Well,
I wasn't about to school them on anything.
So far, the imports are far clearer than the Dovetail. We'll have to see about Metro, but that is like...
Oh. This one's almost got like a nitro head on it. This one's got such a creamy head.
Same, like Brian was saying before, you give it a little swirl and it just puffs right out. It's beautiful.
Matt,
what, they've been doing this for a while or so. Oh, that's nice.
I say, Matt, what's
Prospect represent?
Holy cow!
What mug are you going for in this one?
Mount Prospect Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
Mean mugging tonight.
I still pride myself on having my German American Festival mug from when I lived in Lincoln Square all the way back to.
Oh, that's a fun one.
2011.
It's
almost like a 10-year-old mug. Biz, you have 2 shout-outs on the chat. People saying hi to you.
Saying hi.
One chat.
One of them is my wife, and I smell something burning. So, wife, if you're watching, can you check the toaster real quick?
I have a request for a ponytail picture on tonight's feed. Yeah, it was super blonde, and it was definitely a ponytail, and I looked pretty German. Had little glasses, and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, I don't think I have a picture of you with a ponytail, just with a mohawk.
I don't think I knew you when I had a ponytail, but I'll find a picture. I don't know if I'm going to find it tonight, but. Mm-hmm.
Someone's asking if there's a 6-month code on these beers, and there probably is. These are.
I see this. 0321.
Oh.
Is that what we're talking?
Okay. But that would be that's obviously more than 6 months if that were happened to be March 21st.
Yeah.
I mean,
March of 21.
March of 2020.
Maybe a 9-month.
Yeah, a lot of international beers tend to have, because they're filtered and they're kind of brewed to withstand a long boat journey, and then whatever distributors do to them, they tend to be a little more conditioned for some rough times, so they do tend to last a little longer. Doesn't make them any worse, but just if they're an import, they are definitely brewed for that kind of environment.
Well,
all right.
what are you thinking?
Thank you.
Pretty much the same ABV, just skosh higher. Perfectly clear, maybe about the same color, maybe a little darker.
Oh, this is higher than the Dovetail?
It's only by a tenth. I think. My memory serves me well. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is good too. I mean, I still feel like the Ayinger went through more phases. Like it kind of evolved a little bit more as you were drinking it. But this one's really nice.
This one has a little bit more of like metallic or rusty note to it, and I'm not. Or maybe like a little like shower curtain thing going on. I'm not saying those in a bad way. They just compared to the other
shower
ones,
curtain or rust.
I know rust and shower curtain are not words you want to
Like
use.
a good rusty shower curtain.
Right. Those are not words you use typically when you're talking about a beer you really enjoy.
You
But
got to
I
think
really
of a different.
do
You
enjoy
got to think of
those.
something else that's like in that same family that
I'm
thinking
it could be construed as positive.
Like a fresh PVC sheet or something.
I was supposed to like freshly cut like a tennis ball coming out of the canister.
Something.
I don't know. That's a weird smell. A tennis ball coming out of a can.
Smells.
It's not that. It's something along those lines. Like it's my first. It's my first.
Are you
sip
talking about
after
you talking about the
festival.
taste? Or you talking about the smell? Because I agree, the smell is not. The nose is not as pleasant as the other two.
It's mostly the taste, and again, I'm coming off the Festbier, so I am recalibrating here a bit.
I get the slightest hint right at the end of tennis ball on the nose.
All right, we got 2 for tennis ball.
Yeah, just
I don't know. Tennis ball.
like right at the end.
Tennis ball is the epitome of summer. How I can't possibly associate
Matt's
tennis
going.
ball.
Matt's like ready to start living his doubles days. He's like, listen, I've played my share here at tennis. Like, I'll tell you when something smells like a tennis ball.
Listen, if we're talking weed tennis, let's talk.
Are we talking tennis or are we talking tennis here?
Talking tennis?
I think Biz froze up. Otherwise, she'd be talking about tennis.
Oh, she did freeze up for just a second. She'll be back though. It's happened a couple times. She'll be back. There she is. She's back.
Am I back?
You're back.
Good. Yeah. I'm not sure.
I mean,
know
this
what
one.
tennis ball smells like.
Well, Ryan, you're talking about you're talking about cutting open a tennis ball, or you're talking about when you first open the can.
When you first open the can.
Immediately put it over your face.
Yeah. Which, by the way, if you've never done that, please go to Dick's Sporting Goods right now and do that. Pause this video. Go do that.
You got to do that. It smells crazy in there. But I don't know.
What are the most unique smells you encounter just in your life, like in daily life? Like, what the hell? Like, where does that come from? Like new car smell. There's just no way you can replicate that under any circumstances.
Right. Definitely, yeah, the aroma. I'm excited to also bounce back again to Ayinger because I still got just a little bit left. But I think there's going to be a pretty clear difference between the imports and the domestic tonight. But this one definitely has a little more, a little less of the just straight bread. And some other notes. Maybe it's floral, maybe it's tennis ball, maybe it's
This one's more well-rounded to me.
shower. It's really hard.
This one is very rounded, soft edges around the whole thing. Like no one aspect of it leaps out or hits you in any one part of your mouth or attacks your tongue or anything. It just feels like The whole from beginning to end, it's just sort of like a little bit of a. It's very nice and soft. You know, I feel like
tennis,
the other.
Right? That's what tennis does.
It's like a tennis ball, if you will.
Tennis
That's right.
Like,
No, you'll get me one way or the other.
you
You'll get
can
me.
smacking it.
But
I think floral's a good call. I get a lot more floral notes through this, and that might just be the different hops between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more of like an English countryside versus a little bit more of like a meadowy forest of some kind.
I feel like it comes on slowly and it dissipates very gently.
I think the malt,
which in some ways is like the Hacker-Pschorr. I mean, like the Weiss beer. I mean, it's similar in that way too. Like that's kind of a really, really well-rounded, soft edges beer.
Yep. We're getting comments that this is a little bit easier to drink. This might be like a little bit more like Oktoberfest than Märzen.
Yep.
But so Ryan, technically speaking, if you're supposed to say Oktoberfest style beer, not unlike like a Kolsch.
Yes.
But if you spell October with a C, then are you in the clear?
I mean, I think Spotten's now in charge of this. Like they came up with this idea, and you know they're handing out name appellations for these kind of things. So I guess you'll have to ask them.
I think the safe way is just get punny with it, like Three Floyds does, and Half Acre, and Metropolitan, and just have a good time with it. Try to just stay away from the BS and just drink some good beer.
It's hard. It's one that I really want to understand, and I really want to like have some rules. Like I love putting things in style categories, and I love like comparing things. But this is just one where I just don't get it, and I just don't care because I'm always so excited to drink them, and when they come around for the season, that I'm just like is it brown and malty and taste delicious? Like
I'm in the seasonal. Just let's do it.
But yeah, I think this is definitely a little bit lower in body, a little lower mouthfeel, touch more bitter, and
do you think so?
Like less caramely and a little bit more like nutty. A little more like a nut roll and a little less like just like brioche bread or something.
I agree, it's a little less bready. I agree with that. But yeah, the whole thing just seems gentler in every respect to me than either of the first two beers.
So I just poked into YouTube, and our friend Paul is here, asking Matt to sing the song, sing the hat song.
Mein Hut, der hat Dreiecken der hat mein Hut. I think it just goes over. I think it says my hat. It has three corners. Three corners has my hat, and then it goes back and forth. I don't know. Is there more to it than that?
Probably not, but
it's 1996, so I don't remember it so well. Mein Hut. Oh, here it is. Mein Hut, der hat Dreiecken hat mein Hut, und hat Oh no, und hat nicht. Wait, there's more. What does it actually translate to?
I think this is harder to do sober. You know what I mean?
I think you need to switch out to like...
It's only four lines. I just don't know what it translates to. It's only 4 lines long.
Go grab a triple Hop Butcher, whatever new one they just put out last week. Which one
he also mentioned
and then you'll be ready to go.
Usually begin at the Chicago bars when Sam Adams is available. Then Hacker-Pschorr if you were lucky. So back in the day when we'd go to bars all the time.
Oh, here we go. My hat has 3 edges. 3 edges has my hat, and if he didn't have 3 edges, then it wouldn't be my hat.
Perfect logic.
That's the translation. And it
Can't
goes
argue with that.
on and on over and over again. And some people do an intro, which is how many edges does my hat have? 1, 2, 3? That's an intro. Some instances, but otherwise, it just goes on and on. My hat has 3 corners. 3 corners has my hat, and if it didn't have 3 corners, it wouldn't be my hat.
Strong statement.
And the whole time you do this, and so good, so much fun.
In the nightmare that is my background right now.
You're right, that nightmare. What's the hardest you've clanged like 2 sides together and not had it break? Like you were like maybe by accident, and you were like surprised with it. Like
my son has the worst cheersing ability of anybody I've ever known. He will smash your cup into a million pieces. He's terrible. He's
like
also
trying to
5.
make sure your knuckles touch when he's like kicking
Yeah.
you.
Brew.
What's up, bro? Bam! Just right into you.
That's rough.
Has he broken actual like glassware that has
No,
meaning to you?
luckily all of his cups are plastic.
Oh, okay.
Mostly because he has a toasting problem. But he's my son, so I don't blame him.
Yeah.
It's my fault. It's my fault.
Self-control will come later, hopefully.
That's what you get for having a dad who owns a beer store.
Yeah.
Strong toasting abilities.
Well, I'm ready.
Last beer?
We're moving pretty quick.
I love it.
Sometimes
I feel like
2 hours and 15 minutes.
No, we're gonna keep this to an hour 15. We're not going crazy tonight.
Whoa!
Everyone, keep your
Wait,
shirts
we're
on.
not all drinking Dark
No
Lord.
one go to the bathroom. Like, just.
Are we doing barrel-aged pumpkin beers at the end of this?
Oh God, no! Why would you say
That's
that?
what I have. That's
Why
what
would
I've
you
got
say
on
that?
tap.
So for those that need their pumpkin beers, pumpkin is around, and I picked one up, and the wife and I were drinking it, and we were like, "Oh, we forgot this
I'm
is
just gonna
8%.
mute Josh right now. It's fine.
It's Imperial. We need." It's very intense. I almost forgot. I jumped in too early.
Listen, upstairs we got the brandy barrel-aged Lakefront
Ooh.
pumpkin ale, which is my personal favorite. I'm just looking for an excuse. Just give me a reason.
I mean, don't make me throw a pumpkin at you. Just get it.
I mean, Julian's asking if there's any nightmare pumpkin beers, and I'm pretty sure you could take that torn apart by trees and just pour that on a pumpkin, and you wouldn't notice the difference.
That would be ridiculous.
That was probably the craziest beer we had, right, over the course of the pub nights. That's got to be the craziest one, right?
By far, it's the one where I had one sip and I was like, this night's over. I'm done.
There's still a couple bottles, maybe one bottle left in the store. Torn Apart by Trees by Nightmare. It's like a sarsaparilla, like chicory root, like 16% barley wine with a bunch of crazy like licorice and like black licorice and different roots thrown into it. It's insane.
I mean, I'm familiar with their cans because the art's so crazy on them.
But did you see the newest ones where they must have gotten in trouble because now it's just like stick figure drawings.
Right. Yeah,
Which-
it's not quite the same.
No, it's not quite the same at all. I mean, they went from being like the most provocative cans in the store to like clearly the worst cans in the store. It's pretty in a matter of weeks. It's pretty interesting. The beers are pretty good though, but that one was insane. I was glad I tried it, but a 16-ounce can is just a joke. I mean, like, who needs that? Especially during COVID times.
Right.
No one to share with. I mean, no one needs that.
I think I had 2 ounces and I ran screaming, just from the beer itself, not from the
That was a
actual
weird
can.
one.
It
We
wasn't
we had,
bad. It was
we had
just
weirder ones. We had
it was-
bad beers. We had some beers that were like we had a couple that were off. That might have been worse, but that was the craziest one.
All right, last beer. This beer holds a very, very special place in my heart because it's the one that I definitely have sold the most of to people saying, like, Ryan, what's your favorite Oktoberfest beer? And it's time and time again,
It's a can.
Afterburner. And now it's in a can, so I hope it's still great. And every year I have it, and every year I'm reminded that I'm not wrong in claiming it as my favorite Chicagoland Oktoberfest Märzen name, whatever.
Wow.
Isn't
Are you
it
saying
gonna
it's gonna be?
taste
Are you saying it's gonna be
like
better than
beer?
the Ayinger?
I didn't say that. I said it's my favorite Chicago one.
Okay, just wondering.
Whoa! Look at that.
Dark.
That is clear and dark. That is as clear as the import. The Dovetail definitely had a little. That is like looking at. I would love to swim in a lake that color. That would be.
I do not want to swim in that lake.
Well, if it was beer. I was talking a
Oh
fantasy
my
beer
gosh,
lake.
what is going on in Matt's mug right now?
It's just a beautiful color.
This one too is not. It should be. It's a left-handed mug, but it's a Disney on Ice mug, and it lights up.
At first I
But
thought
it
that
is
was
but it is a Stein. Make no mistake.
At first I thought it was like a Dancing Bears, like it was like a Grateful Dead
Grateful Dead.
Grateful
Right,
Dead
yeah,
shop or
that's what I
something.
thought too.
No, it's Mickey and Goofy and Minnie and.
But let's give Matt
Dumb.
props. Look how clean that glass looks. Unless
Not bad, right?
it's pretty good.
For being like a kid's glass that came
Yeah.
from the Rosemont Horizon or the Allstate Arena, excuse me.
What's that? Listen, I want that class. That is our new holiday class right there.
I mean,
Great. I'll dim the lights before we're done here, so you can see how.
Get your pre-orders in on the chat right now. We'll get you one of those.
Wait, what's happening? We're getting one of these for somebody?
Yeah, we got to get our faces on there. We're gonna get silhouettes of Biz, you, me, and Josh.
That would be
all on the glass, and people will call it our official pub.
Yeah,
pub
commemorative
style.
Oktoberfest mug. Once a year it comes out. It lights up. It's got our silhouettes on the side.
This is the one where you get the backwards logo on the cup.
This is another one. This one too. You have to hold it this way for people to see that it's Disney on Ice.
Yeah.
See, they work the same graphic designer that we do, where they just put it in the front, but the front is actually the one that faces you.
Yeah.
So what was in that cup initially? Like, did you just buy it separately, or did you buy it like with a beverage inside?
Great question.
I'll be honest. I wasn't there. My daughter brought it home. She was with other folks.
So what beer was she drinking?
I should have asked her. I didn't ask her. It was like a Christmas iced fest. So it wasn't easy.
Was it?
Yeah, it was probably pink lemonade. It's probably what was in here. But yeah, she brought it home, and I was like, "That's actually pretty awesome. We're keeping that one." A lot of them, you have to kind of like when they're not looking, throw them out or get rid of them. You know what I mean? I have so many different cups.
Watch this video in 10 years.
But this one, I was like, that one we're keeping. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
You got to hand wash it though, because there's electronics.
Absolutely. Not dishwasher safe.
No.
These Oktoberfest mugs, though, you put these in the dishwasher. Oh yeah.
Throw them in. Just throw them right in there.
Sales pitch.
Listen, the people in Arlington Heights don't know about this probably, but in Park Ridge last year, Beer on the Wall had an Oktoberfest that was it was food truck themed. It was pretty cool. So there were tons of Oktoberfest beers on tap, but also lots of food trucks to eat from. And obviously, it didn't happen this year, but in theory, that's the kind of magic that Beer on the Wall could bring to you Arlington Heights.
Yeah, I hope we get to spread that. Biz, I think you're on mute.
I am.
Now you're not. Now you're good.
Here you go.
I would say it was pretty beer themed too. In addition
Oh, yeah.
to
No, there were more beers than there were
food trucks.
but there were some food trucks, and that's why the pretzel's on wheels on the mug.
Right,
Right.
and yeah, we try to make things. I mean, almost every single city does an Oktoberfest. Sometimes they do 2 if you're in Park Ridge. Sometimes they do 3. So we wanted to try and differentiate the Oktoberfest a little bit and kind of bring something a little bit different to it instead of just kind of traditional people dressing up and drinking out of steins. Like trying to bring something fun to it. We kind of do 2 big festivals in Park Ridge. We do our Main Street Festival and then our Oktoberfest. And one of the things people loved about the Main Street Fest was that we had food trucks, but when we do Main Street, we try to feature businesses along Main Street. So we kind of took one of our favorite things from Main Street and moved them to Oktoberfest. We made it into Trucktoberfest to have a lot of food trucks and drink some beer, and turned out pretty fun. And I hope we get to do that again because it was a lot.
Listen,
even
even if you hadn't had the trucks, most suburban Oktoberfest, even the city Oktoberfest, like how many Oktoberfest beer options are you looking at most suburban Oktoberfests? Like the one in Mount Prospect is a lot of fun, and I was glad I went. But beer-wise, they probably had 3 Oktoberfest beers to choose from. I mean, how many did you have in Park Ridge?
18
different Oktoberfest beers. So in and of itself, I'm going to guess probably more Oktoberfest variety than any Oktoberfest in the state, I'm going to guess, on top of the fact that it was also...
He's going big. He's swinging big right now.
So, yeah, even without the food trucks, it was a cut above in many ways.
Like it.
Speaking of a 4th Oktoberfest, Afterburner,
Mm-hmm.
immediately off the nose,
Not a lot on the nose, right? Like the
I would
nose
say this
like
is
I'm not
actually
getting a lot.
this is the toastiest of all 4 of the ones I've
Ooh,
smelled.
Yeah.
This one's definitely like something just came out of the toaster oven.
Oh yeah, very toasty, and the burnt leaves are in full effect on this one.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I want Matt's camera to pan over, and there's just a candle burning called leaves.
And it's like that's why I'm getting it in every single beer. Like it's weird. I have to say, guys, I'm getting burnt leaves again.
Holy.
It's like right off screen. It's sitting on my mouse pad. It's like right here. I don't know, guys.
I think it's burning leaves again. I don't know.
Tonight's agenda of tasting notes: burning leaves.
Yeah.
Leaves
But
that are
in
not.
this one, the roastiness hits immediately. It's not just like a thing on the end. Like the roastiness attacks you almost instantly on this one. Pretty interesting.
I think this one, the sweetness on it is more specifically like for me is like a brown sugar, not just like a bready sweetness.
Like a burnt brown sugar.
Easy with the
easy burnt leaf sugar.
The candle right next to leaves is called burnt brown sugar.
I'm just saying.
I think Matt on the chat is saying this is the most hop aromatic, and I agree with that. I think this is probably the most hop forward of all four of them. I get a very like distinct noble hop aroma and flavor to this one. It's just like a very
the bitterness at the end is definitely like I would point towards definitely is from the hops and not from like a smoky bitterness or anything like that. We were and the two in the middle were very very soft at the end, and this one definitely has like a sharper hoppy bitterness that is really clean, and I'm enjoying it. I agree.
This one is far and away the least sweet for me. Or like there might actually be a high sugar content in there, but because of the roastiness and the sort of darker tones, it's like it's not real sugary at any point during the sip.
Whoa! Okay, so I don't know if this was on the bottle, but they got a little description here.
Uh-oh.
Smooth,
smooth, toasty, and burnt leaves.
and festive.
and burnt leaves.
One of the best beers. Oktoberfest is one of the best beers in the world for one of the best parties in the world. Just turn around, Brian. You can see the party right there.
Mm-hmm.
Now before Josh turns on this and just makes it into a big discussion about him and his favorite flavors, Biz, do you get any sort of vanilla note off this?
I wasn't getting. So what I'm getting off of this one is, I know we've been talking about the breadiness on all of them, but this one specifically was bringing about pretzels for me. And then the spice I was getting is cloves. Are you getting cloves at all?
I get close.
That's fair.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I get that. That's cool. Yeah.
Definitely more so than the others.
How do you say it?
I wasn't getting vanilla though, but I'll spend some more time with it.
I think that one of the things that stands out about this one is just like this little bit of like, and I don't even know the difference, but like there's always like when you have like imitation vanilla, there's always like regular like actual vanilla extract, then there's like fake vanilla extract, and there's always like this one like French vanilla that tends to have like this little like toasted actual like woody vanilla, and I always get that in Afterburner. That's like how I would distinctively know that it was Afterburner, and I love that just like little bit of like pound cake in here, and I definitely picked it up again, and it's one of my favorite things about this beer.
I don't know if it's jumping out at me, but I definitely like it, and maybe that's why. but let's be honest. When I talk about vanilla, I want it to beat me down. There's so much of it. Like I want that level.
But Biz, I'm totally with you on the pretzels though. Like and so is Matt on the chat. Like there's definitely like the if you do like the traditional like lye treatment to the outside of the pretzels to get like that like alkaline like flavor on the outside of the pretzel, like when you're toasting them up. I definitely get that in this beer. It's pretty unique and pretty interesting. It might just be like the water treatment that's going on in here.
Not so much the bready inside part of the pretzel, but like the outside part.
Yeah,
of the pretzel,
specifically
right?
like
that's what sets it apart, right?
Yeah. Do you agree with that, or is it more like? Are you getting more like the whole pretzel?
Crust.
No, it's more the outside of the pretzel.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Need more
For sure.
of that.
Yeah, that's a good note.
Paul on YouTube is saying the vanilla is definitely coming through, and for him it's turning into a creamsicle. Which I'm not getting much citrus, but if it's that much, it is very soft, and you get that vanilla, it can definitely turn into that. And we were talking about the sweetness too. So
John Q gets pound cake and Chicago water.
good old Chicago water.
Chicago water.
Chicago water. Get get you some.
Chicago water.
Yep. Matt on the chat is saying pound cake as well, but definitely pretzels.
Yeah.
But Josh, if you're looking to make that Afterburner, if you're looking to make that Oktoberfest float, sounds like this.
Hey, let me get the French press.
So how come nobody makes like a salted Oktoberfest? That would be sort of like a.
Oh man.
A Oktober goza or whatever.
That's a good point. I think last year Around the Bend did a pistachio, or they did some kind of.
They did. It's Oktober Fiesta, and it's again. Right. They have it this year again, and they have there's like spices and stuff.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Peppers or something in there. Yeah, that's that. But like, someone should salt this beer now that it's so pretzely. How good would that be?
That was actually a fun one to sell. It'd be like, yeah, you know what you think you know. Add some peppers to it.
Mm-hmm.
Or we're starting making Martza gozas out of these.
Yeah.
Right? That'd be fun.
Biz's face right now is frozen, not a face of questioning if
it might be Biz's most famous face, actually. Which is you're skeptical. It's your skeptical face.
Yeah, that's good.
And you're right to be skeptical. It's a slippery slope.
You're on frozen, but we're only getting some of your audio. Here, wait. We're gonna be quiet. You say what you're gonna say.
Just making sure I'm unfrozen.
Yes.
Okay, good. Nothing to say.
Visually, it's choppy, but audio-wise, we can hear you fine. But visually, it's kind of like frames it
too. Yeah, honey is a good note. Yeah, I think overall, this is just a pastry Oktoberfest. We're all getting fooled, and it's just got a ton of lactose in it.
All right, bold prediction: 3 years from now, we're just gonna have like over-fruited Oktoberfests. Just people just dumping cherries and stuff in here, like Plumtoberfest is gonna be like a whole new style.
Listen, I only drink mine with a caramel ring.
Like you French press.
You have to melt it like a Werther's caramel, and you have to kind of rub it. You have to rim it around the glass.
Take some of those burning leaves and just drop them directly into your glass.
There you go. No, I think you have to do it like this.
Yeah. Just
this one's really nice, but
you have to drink it out of a caramelized apple.
I understand that this one is not heavy in terms of the actual body of the beer, but because of where this one hits my tongue, it's like I don't know. I really like this, but I don't feel like I could drink liters of this out of a boot like all day long, like some of the other ones. This one feels like it will wear out my taste buds faster. This one's more intense for me, but I like it. I mean, I definitely like it.
You won't know till you try.
That's the only way to know.
It's funny you say that because because you and Biz as the more hoppier beer drinkers, I would say that this would probably be more up your alley because it does tend to have a little bit more bitterness and like has a little bit less of that malty sweetness to latch onto.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm always talking about like the parts of my mouth, but for me, it's more about what's left over, like on the roof of my mouth, in sort of the back of my mouth and the roof after I finish a sip, where it's like it kind of hangs there for a little bit, and I don't know. I don't think I could do a bunch of these, but I like it. It's really nice though.
Matt, it's too bad because I think with that description too is going back to the Ayinger is like I think it has some of the brighter notes out of the four of them, like bright hoppy notes coming off of it, and that might have been something that it was definitely really interesting to go back to it after each of these and to revisit them because once you get an idea of like the full spectrum, they're definitely like pretty far apart. I wouldn't say any of them taste identical. Like
no, actually, yeah, considering it's all fairly similar style. I mean, it's basically the same style of beer over and over again.
Right. The
four of these had a pretty wide range of flavors, which is cool.
Yeah, they really did. I think the Hacker-Pschorr would have been probably to drink all day.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I'm not saying it's the one I want the most all day, but it's like it would be the easiest to drink all day. I agree with you on that for sure.
If I had to pick the one that I want the most all day, that might be the Ayinger.
I'm with you. I agree all the way.
Listen, it comes to that part of the show where we have to kind of pick our favorites and let everybody know and put them up, show everybody.
Put them up. Yeah, I think
Matt's
we should do
very hard.
I think we should do 2 rounds because it's a good point. What's our favorite, and then what would we actually want to drink a lot of if we were doing a
We
little.
were Oktoberfesting like the real way.
If we were at Chucktoberfest 2020, RIP, what would we want a mug of? A liter mug, a liter of cola.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready.
My favorite.
Wait, so which one?
Let's
So
check
Biz,
it.
we're gonna hold up the can or bottle as an answer to this question. But what's the first question? It's which one is our favorite, or which one are we drinking already?
Favorite of the night.
Okay, favorite.
We're ready?
Yep.
Go.
Wow.
Mhm.
I do really like. I mean, that one's number 2 for me for sure. But maybe it's just vanilla sneaking in.
Yeah, I mean,
realize.
it may be a sequencing too, just like the first. Yeah, I think I had the Dovetail Fest on draft, but having that Ayinger just like brought me to such a happy place where I realized how much I love this style, and I'm just like immediately ready to drink these for the next 3.5 months.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the Afterburner is definitely still my favorite Chicago one, and like there's
it's
no
so
change
good.
from.
They're both really tasty. I mean, considering they're up against beers that have been around for hundreds of years. You know what I mean? Like, not bad,
There's something
guys.
going on there.
Not bad.
All right, most drinkable. That was the next category.
Yeah, most drinkable.
Yeah. Which one are we crushing? A lot of. Have to
I'm
taste.
pretending to think about it, but really I have my answer already.
I was between two, but I think I'm ready.
Okay. I think I'm ready. I think. Let's go.
And go.
Well, folks,
I mean, we kind of led into that a little bit.
Yeah.
But
But I'm not gonna complain if someone keeps putting the Ayinger in front of me all day like that. I mean,
no, for sure. And the Afterburner, I don't know. I think I find this more drinkable than maybe a lot of other people. But I think this is totally drinkable. And it's the more I drink it, the little bit more dryness I get on the end of the mouth. Like that kind of makes me want to come back and drink more and more of it.
interesting. See, for me, it's like I end up with that. I feel like there's still something on the roof of my mouth after I finish the Metropolitan, where it's like it makes me not want to have a bunch more. It's like for me, the ones that kind of finish in the lower part of your mouth and the top part of your mouth is clean and empty, then I'm ready for more. Whereas it sounds like Ryan was saying the opposite in this particular instance. But
Yeah.
for me, if I finish with something that's kind of the roof of my mouth feels coated, then I kind of feel like, oh, I'm good. Like I don't need a whole lot more. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Paul on YouTube is saying he agrees Ayinger is the best, and that the imports won tonight, and that the Ayinger got better and better. And I think we're a lot of people on the same page. That's for sure.
Biz, any reason why you had the Ayinger at the top of your list?
Well,
I was asking Biz, not you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll address you as Vanilla Boy when I need
I
to.
misheard.
You mean for the first question, like why did Biz?
Oh, yeah.
I put that one at the top of my list because that toastiness that's on there, it's not, the leaves that are burning. It's stronger. And I like that a lot. And I don't know. And I still have some to taste, unlike Matt. And when I go back to it's still good.
Matt's gonna go to the store after we sign off and buy a 6-pack.
Yeah, I mean, only if if there are some left, if there are some 4-packs left, then yes, there will be a little bit of Ayinger.
Yeah, this was for now. This was an exclusive from this pack. We didn't have any of this on the shelf, so.
And same with the Hacker-Pschorr.
Hacker, right? Yeah, both imports were exclusive for this pub pack, so it'll be fun. I'd like to obviously chat's been chiming in too, but I'd like to hear. Obviously, we're just getting started with the season, and this is only 4 beers. Obviously, we split it 2 and 2, but what else would people want to do some side by sides with? Oktoberfest. At the store right now, Buckle Down just got put on draft because we kicked our Dovetail keg, and Revolution is backing that up. Revolution Oktoberfest, but there's so much out there, local and domestic and import. I'd love to hear what other people like outside of these four.
I think we have Lagertown and Half Acre on tap right now.
All right.
And actually the Dovetail Festbier on tap right now as well.
Mm-hmm.
Am I crazy or did Pipeworks put out a Festbier last year?
I don't know, but they
definitely don't have one. They don't have one coming this year, at least not through August. Maybe in September, but not in August. They don't.
Yeah.
I mean, Phase 3 put on Oktoberfest last year, so I feel like there's.
Correct.
I feel like I'm missing a lot of other Oktoberfest that are.
What's left? I mean, the Maplewood's going to be kind of a little late to the party, but maybe intentionally. But that's still coming down the pike, and then the Around the Bend you mentioned, that's still on its way. Buckle Down is out now. Half Acre's out now. Revolution's out now. We just got the Church Street in this week as well, which is Itasca Fest, which might be a play on Munster Fest from Three Floyds.
I was going to say Three Floyds is not out yet, the Munster Fest.
No, that's out. We have that in Huntington Heights. I think it is out.
I think maybe this week for Park Ridge.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
We don't usually miss out on that.
What else is coming down the pike? I mean,
Great Lakes.
Almost every brewery has one. I mean, Second.
I like Great Lakes a lot.
Great Lakes. You guys have
the
Great
Great Lakes
already.
Oktoberfest.
Yeah, and Bells.
This is the time to buy.
Bells. They spell with a C. Yeah, we have Bells on the shelf right now, and it's called Oktoberfest with a C. Beer. It's called Oktoberfest beer.
And this is the first time we've gotten Surly's Oktoberfest ever.
Oh yeah, we have that too. We have that, don't we, Biz? The Surly. It's just called Oktoberfest, right? Because they also have Surly Fest, which is a different beer. But I think this year we have Oktoberfest on the shelf.
That's confusing.
It is confusing.
Because this style needs more confusion. Let's make two beers from the same brewery to make it extra confusing.
Mm-hmm.
But that was definitely one that people requested a lot when the first couple of years we were open, and we learned that it's just like it doesn't ever leave Minnesota. Now this is the first year we've seen it, so I'd have to try that. I have to grab both of those. I've never tried them, but heard some good things from loyal Surly people who love those beers. Yeah, the Great Lakes one's one I totally forgot about. I gotta grab some of that too.
I'm not sure I've ever had the Great Lakes one. We don't have that in AH, but if you have that in Park Ridge, I'll have to get one. We might do another one of these 4-packs and another tasting. I mean, if people want to see one, we'll do another one. And all those beers we just talked about could be contenders to make an appearance.
Yeah. So if you're watching this either tonight or if you're watching this in the future, definitely leave a comment. Let us know some beers you want to see.
Absolutely.
I'd love to get the spot in Oktoberfest, which I think is probably my favorite international Oktoberfest. So I would love to get that one in. It's one that we don't get too much of. Like they only send a very small amount, and it mostly comes in draft, so you have to kind of grab it on draft. But that's one that usually, if I'm at Trucktoberfest, I'm usually just drinking pints and pints of that, or half liters of that.
I've never had that one. That's good to know. And then what about the Schlafly Oktoberfest?
Oh,
I feel like I hear rumblings about the Schlafly. I've never had it.
I think the Schlafly Pumpkin is probably the one that people are most excited about, right?
No, I agree. That's definitely one people get excited about. Yeah, for sure. Actually, and Lakefront also has an Oktoberfest. I mean, almost everybody does. Lakefront though, Lakefront's kind of like they definitely have a German thing going on. They have like a German beer hall vibe to their brewery, and they have German food you can order when you go there and stuff. So they kind of have to do one, whether or not they want to.
And feel free to shout out if you want a ABV Chicago style torture test of pumpkin beers. we do that too.
I'm all the way in. I'm in
as well. Well, because I just love entertaining.
Just
entertainment.
The entertainment value would be past the screen. I'll say that.
Are you going to sign the dotted line for that one? For a Pumpkin Torture Fest show?
I think that's where I'll tap out and force Eric Mallon to participate.
Listen, Eric doesn't want to do this show. He's not going to do a pumpkin show.
He just chugs a Czech lager in between everyone to stay afloat or something silly like that. Matt, are you going to light up your money? Somehow we need a pumpkin show where we all do that. Just LEDs only and
Listen,
dark rooms.
Pre-order your Oktoberfest 2020 virtual cups right here. We're gonna get silhouettes of all four of us on that mug. You're gonna want to get that.
What are we doing? Like in the silhouettes, these guys are dancing. What are we doing in the silhouettes for us?
Well,
are we doing my hat? It has three corners.
You're
It'd
singing.
be like
You're singing. I'm
There's
trapped
like
in a night.
there's movements that go along with it.
Oh right.
I'm trapped in my own nightmare, so my face is just like this.
Oh man, it's hard to drink. It's hard to drink out of this in the dark. It's so bright when you get it close to your mouth. It kind of hurts.
Should have made it a little more subtle.
Biz, what are you
I
doing?
think you have to drink a stout. That's all.
Biz, what's your silhouette on the mug? What are you doing in the mug?
I think I'm just gonna cheers because
You're just doing a pros.
Doing cheers.
Yeah.
Someone could be making a pretzel.
I think I'm just gonna be.
I want Matt to be doing this, just like he's at a rave. Just
Pretzel rave.
Yeah, listen, we'll make a Spotify playlist too. Torture Test Spotify playlist for raves
It'll all be German remixes
that
of
everyone can listen to while
traditional songs.
Right, German rave songs all day.
It turns out it looks as ridiculous as that cup looks while you're drinking the beer.
Right.
Yeah, it really lights you in a strange and subtle way.
Matt wasn't drunk before, but the lights are doing it for him.
I'm done. I'm definitely done.
Just falls out of frame.
John Q agrees with you, Ryan. It looks like Deadheads, like the Deadhead Bears.
Oh,
Yeah, it looks like I thought it was a Grateful Dead concert.
Before we get out of here, Ryan, can we get to the bottom of, I don't know, in your background photo, the guys that are hanging over the balcony, can we figure out what's happening there?
Right side. I think they're just.
Are those people or are they scarecrows?
I'm
think
pretty
they're
sure they're
scarecrows.
scarecrows. I don't. I have to hope. I hope that it's not. I didn't post some
Really
really
look like
offensive
Bill
beer fest photo.
The hat? You shouldn't.
Also, Matt,
I
you're
think
just a
they-
floating. You are a floating head right now. I'm just letting you know.
I think they have the. You're right.
Spooky.
I think they have the three-cornered hat on those guys, on the scarecrows.
That's
Can you zoom in there? Are they wearing the? I think they have the
I can't-
three-cornered hat.
I can
Enhance.
spot here. I'll spotlight myself. Let's see if I can do that. That'll help a little bit, maybe.
Let's see. I mean, I'm assuming
think
they're lining both balconies on both sides, right? It's just
yeah, no,
easier.
you can see them on both sides.
yeah, they're on both sides.
But the one to your left is the most visible, and it looks like it's like a whole guy, and he looks like he's got lederhosen and a three-cornered hat, and he's just sort of hovering over the edge of the balcony, as if he owes his bookie a bunch of money. Like someone's holding him over the edge.
Those mannequins.
This is. I'm waiting for someone in the chat to just kind of be like, listen, this comes from the old tradition where like when
Old.
you didn't pay your debts in Germany, they would put you on the ledge and would
They'd
throw you
hold you over
money. Yeah.
The teeming maniacs at Oktoberfest, and they'd threaten to drop you in.
Like
In the nightmare that is the background of this.
It's funny.
I'm gonna find so many scary backgrounds for Pumpkin Torture Test. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm gonna search for Oktoberfest scarecrows. and
I
see what
can't
comes up.
handle this Matt floating head thing. It's so. It's just a floating head.
Just had to wear a dark shirt.
No, I'm just having fun with.
Yeah, say hi to everyone.
Hey everybody! Oh,
Oh,
I'll have to hide
you
my
have to
shirt.
show the hurts.
That ruins it. The shirt, yeah, it ruins it.
Yeah,
Sure, yeah, the shirt, yeah.
The ghost of Matt's head. Oh, it's good. Not everyone knows this, but Mickey's a spooky guy.
It's right.
I'm fully aware. All right, I'm just cuvang all
Oktoberfest.
four because for old time's sake.
What Oktoberfest dummies?
What'd you
That
call me?
doesn't- No, that doesn't.
Try mannequin.
Oktoberfest hanging mannequins?
That could go real dark real quick. I can see that.
Ryan, are you mixing all the beers that's left?
Oh,
Biz,
that's a thing.
Did you not watch all 13 episodes of our?
Biz has not seen a single episode of our pub pack. No, let's be clear. I could have told you that.
You're not
Come
one
on.
of the
Biz sees
thousands
us,
of people
Biz sees us
watching
all the
this?
time. She doesn't need to watch us online at night.
I'm really embarrassed.
Always be blending.
Always be blending. What kind of culture did they have in Arlington Heights where you're not blending all the beers all the time?
You don't blend?
Damn.
Well, it wouldn't be an episode about our mascot. Come here.
I would do that with soda when I was a kid, but I don't blend the beers.
No, it's like you got to freestyle with the beer styles. Freestyle beer style.
So you mix them, and that's what you mean when you say always be blending?
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
yeah.
At the end of each pub night, we usually mix them together to see if, by some miracle, it tastes drinkable.
Okay.
I don't know. Josh and Ryan contend that it's like drinkable like a third of the time. I assure you, it's drinkable 5% of the time.
Well, Matt, you don't have any of the Ayinger left, so.
No, that's true. Tonight it would be fine. I'm sure
It
tonight
also has no body.
Yeah, so I can't even ingest anything.
Where's the beer going? Nowhere.
All right, well, I'm making my blend. I'll let you know if it's drinkable.
Oh, I found the photo that you found, Ryan. I found it on here.
So
Didn't have to search very far to get to your background.
So for anyone
There it is.
who was around the store, I guess about a month ago, we had Benthic on. And Benthic was this, it was pretty thick. It was a pretty thick coconut coffee stout, barrel aged from Half Acre. It was pouring pretty flat, pretty close to flat. And Tyler and Pete, shout out, they were blending it with literally everything, and they claimed that it worked with everything.
Get yourself a
Benthic
case
was
of
their
Benthic
thing.
next time. Good luck.
Yeah, and I didn't try it, but they basically blended it with everything, and they had a great time with it. And that's all that really matters.
Now, I'm not saying blend Veltons with everything, Biz. You have to kind of choose some things that make sense, but just leave Veltons by itself.
We actually have Vine Stefaner on right now instead
What?
of Veltons. We took one break. I know.
I'm glad you're doing it while
We
I'm
took
not
one
up there.
break.
Or pills.
Yeah, the pills.
Original is amazing. I remember the first time we had that on draft.
I don't know. Maybe it's like a marionette. I don't know. It's hard to say. It could be like a marionette.
They're so big, though.
Well, a life-size marionette.
It's a person, right?
We're gonna get those in Park Ridge. We're just gonna hang them on top of the.
Just hang them
well,
outside the store.
Just get them above the shelves and be like, listen.
Yeah,
Take,
they're like
take your
dolls.
dogs. Take your dogs
they're
home,
sort
and
of
you have
like,
to deal with these people.
and they're holding the lamps. They're sort of reminiscent of like the cuckoo clock guys that come out.
Oh, they're holding the lamps. I see it.
They're
now.
holding the lamps, but they are like, they're full human size, I think, unless there's some sort of optical illusion happening here.
Well, that makes it easier to dress them.
Speaking of
Right.
optical
You don't
illusions,
have to make special clothes. You just give them human clothes. That's right. That's a good point. Yeah, when you put it that way.
That's just
Matt,
strategy.
you looking at Google on your phone also looks like you're burning leaves in your house.
Yeah.
Looks like I'm what?
You're burning
Oh, you're-
leaves in your house, like you have like a fire going.
Oh, right, because of the crackling fire from my Disney on Ice class. Yeah, I could see how that would have that effect.
We need some soft background noise of a crackling bonfire.
I think the Metropolitan's my second favorite, Ryan. I just don't think I could drink a ton of it.
How about that?
I think it might be my second favorite.
That's the thing that I was curious to see is what everybody's second favorite was. So we had a lot of similarities for our first favorite. But what if we all show our second favorite?
Yeah, good question.
Yeah, for me, top two. Well, and if you split the categories too of domestic and import, I think the Metro was definitely hitting the flavors that I like, and so was the Ayinger. I do have another opinion for my household that the Ayinger kind of tasted like a Hefeweizen. They're a little banana.
Oh yeah,
Oh, okay.
banana,
Interesting.
like a burned banana, like a roasty,
Are there any burnt notes coming off of it?
like a bananas brulee.
No, just saying it.
Josh is talking to his cat right now. just so everyone knows.
Ryan, are you still sharing my screen only?
No.
Well, when I look at my laptop, all I see is my head is all.
No, that's just from our end. You can switch.
That's you. You can switch. I switched it back to gallery on my end.
Okay, because I didn't put that on. You put that on, and it never went back, as far as I could tell.
We're trying not to scare everyone off. Okay?
Oh, good idea. All right, that's better. All right,
That's better.
fantastic.
Illuminate
And I think
my
round
head
2
again.
will be even weirder somehow. Just because I might actually bring something to set on fire. Make Matt happy.
No
Or
friends.
I'll just bring pumpkin beers.
All right, listen. We need 10 more comments about Oktoberfest beers you need. Otherwise, Josh is going to make this into a pumpkin show beer.
That's right. And more
A
like
challenge.
That'd be fun and unique.
It's a challenge.
It's about to go south.
No one does a pumpkin show.
There's a reason for that, Matt. There's a reason.
They've tried, but it didn't even finish well.
Listen, every single year since I've started out on this beer craze train, since like 2009, when I started like drinking craft beer like more critically, I was like, maybe this is the year that I get into pumpkin beers. And every year, within 2 beers, I'm like, nope.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Get into pumpkin beers. I mean, I don't get into them. I'm not like drinking 10 or 12 different ones, but there's like every season I get excited and have 3 or 4 maybe.
It's a seasonal thing. It's here and gone, and you move along. But I feel similarly, but people tell me I'm wrong about another style of beer, smoke beers, and they're not for me. And everyone's like, "No, you're wrong." And I was like, "So I am determined this fall to drink several smoke beers, starting with Alarmist."
I was gonna say the world is a campfire. It's on its way, and that's a smoked beer, and I feel that could be the one that turns you.
Ones too, but I'm not hopeful. But I'm gonna try.
Is are you optimistic for the world as a campfire?
That's got to be a Smashing Pumpkins reference, right?
Yes. I heard singing in my
I
head.
like smoky things, so that sounds great to me.
Mm-hmm. I think that'll be cool. I'm excited about that.
Crazy.
I think we have draft coming, Biz. I think we'll have a keg of that.
Draft. All right. You guys also, can we talk Arlington Heights? Because you guys,
We need to end this Zoom meeting. This is gonna be like a complaining
you
session.
guys
Like we
didn't
need to,
call me when you tapped Bourbon County Vanilla, and
Wait, that was opening day. Didn't call you.
no one called me, and I didn't know.
Josh is a vanilla boy, and you
No,
need.
I know. Is that true?
tap
You had
anything
no
with
idea that was
It was
happening.
opening day. I was still living in the city. I couldn't smell it.
No, that's true. That's true.
yeah, I was too.
But I have to say, it didn't. I mean, right out of the gate, it kind of surprised people, caught people off guard. Like it was on tap for like 10 days.
And no one called me for 10 days.
Yeah, but it also means you weren't checking our Untapped for 10 days.
No.
Listen, bro, you got to follow it on Untapped.
I check your Untapped every day, Josh, in Park Ridge. Every day.
Good thing we have a keg in our basement too.
I'm sure you do. I want to see what's trending.
Don't tell people that.
What? No, it's just a keg with a bunch of vanilla beans I put on top. I'm hoping they penetrate through the metal.
It's 2018 though. You don't unless it's that 2014 goody.
That's the only Bourbon County keg we have downstairs.
No, Josh will gladly take a 2018. Are you kidding?
Yeah,
Listen, we got Prop 16 on draft right now.
it's fantastic. It's still
That's
got
crazy.
pepper notes on it.
Like those ancho. That's the ancho chili and maple
Yeah,
syrup. one, right?
maple and some sort of like toasted nut too, right? Isn't there a nut in there?
I don't know. They do that a lot.
Pralines or something?
Let's look it up.
Okay, great.
Spicy
Everybody look down at
nuts.
your phone.
Oh no.
All
All right,
once.
Biz, it's just
All
you and
at
me.
once.
Computer
Just you
here.
and me talking about blending beers.
I'm surprised at the blend, Ryan. It works for me. I put all 4 in here
Nice.
in somewhat
Listen.
equal amounts, and I think it works.
2016 prop.
I have no idea what my ratio
No, it's
were.
Coke. It's cacao
Maple
nibs.
bourbon. No, it's a maple bourbon barrel.
Maple
Chipotle
bourbon barrel, chipotle peppers,
and
and
cacao.
cacao nibs. So no nuts. No nuts.
We got nuts this year though. What do we have? Walnuts
Some kind of nut.
or Tyler?
What? Oh, because Tyler can't have nuts.
He was watching for half a second.
Was
Yeah.
he? Every year there's some
You knew this was
Bourbon
coming.
County Tyler can't try.
For Poor Tyler. Don't give Tyler a walnut beer, Warren.
Oh, John Q says it's almonds. That's what he's thinking. But he also wants to taste the basement keg. He's asking.
Yeah, just ask nicely.
It's in a list.
No, he just did. That's what just happened. He just asked nicely.
I mean, come in. I can't do anything about it right now.
We should get a wheel. We should really get a wheel where we just when tap 12 kicks or tap 13 kicks.
Dude, I'm in.
Like a customer just comes up and spins the wheel of whatever's in the basement.
Whoever kicks it, right? Whoever orders the last one.
Whoever kicks it has to spin the wheel.
Oh, I like this.
I'm not gonna build this wheel. Like Biz, can you build that wheel?
I mean, a physical wheel would be great. We could do a digital one, but a physical one is preferred.
I'm not a builder, but I've got a guy.
I know you got a guy. Maybe you can work with that guy to get a
arrow.
I want like an actual wheel where we spin it, and like that's the keg that comes on.
But don't put like a ball bearing on there. We need it to stop eventually. Like it can't be too good of a wheel. You know what I mean?
No, I want a really good wheel. I want suspense. I want lots of suspense.
Like we kick the keg, but it takes 20 minutes to decide what the next one is because it does 5,000 revolutions.
I think less than a minute would be appropriate, right?
Because that's suspenseful, but you know it's coming.
Yes, exactly. I think I'll talk to him about it.
That's the deal.
All right, should I have him build two? One for Park Ridge, one for Arlington Heights.
Just us.
Just Park Ridge.
Listen, we'll test it out.
We're not letting that happen in Arlington Heights.
You need to have a dummy one to test out first.
Okay. All right, that's true. He should have built two before he knows it works.
Right. We want the good one going to the Where'd Matt go? Just left.
We should just end it without Matt here.
Hurry.
He just comes back and he's like, "What happened?"
What happened? No problem. Listen, he had his time in the spotlight with no body.
Literal spotlight. Just
literal spotlight,
illuminating
no
his
body.
head.
That mug is pretty creepy.
That mug was very creepy.
Left-handed for life.
He didn't even warn us. He just showed us up. Going back to Hacker.
We need to end the show, but I'm just waiting for Matt to come back so we can officially end it.
No, I don't. Maybe he's getting a Dark Lord or something.
Matt, you got a Dark Lord? We're drinking Dark Lord? Are we cuvee Dark Lord and Märzen?
What are we doing?
We're ending the show. We're waiting for you.
Oh.
Or we're going to cuvee a Dark Lord into this Märzen. Either one. Your choice.
I think a pumpkin beer would be okay in the Märzen. I probably wouldn't do a Dark Lord. That would be a little weird.
Not an option. You can end the show or Dark Lord cuvees.
Wait, we have one more thing. Paul on YouTube, I missed a couple from him, but he was calling myself, Ryan, and Matt the Three Stooges. I think.
Congrats, Biz. You win the call. You win Oktoberfest.
It's on top. All of us are the Three Stooges. He was saying which would be Mo, Curly, and Larry. Like if we were to split that up.
I don't know if I know that. I mean, I know that Mo kind of like runs things and tells people what to do. So I guess that's Ryan. But otherwise, I don't know if I know what's the difference between Curly and Larry. I mean, I know they look like. But what's the difference personality-wise?
No hair, which is ironic.
Yeah, right.
He's got a hard head though, because a lot of things fall on it for sure.
Curly means well. He like tries to get things done, but he just doesn't really know how to do them.
Right.
Larry doesn't know where he is. Larry's kind of the stoner of the group. He's just like, whatever, it's all good.
He's the stoner of the group.
he's the stoner of Stooges.
Indeed. Paul's got a lot of great comments. He also mentioned I think I remember this. That I mentioned to him about a place in London where he can get lots of good beer, and he thanked me for it. There's like a beer row, like a beer mile in London, where all these breweries are set up under these train tracks in these old like industrial, just little warehouse spaces. They're perfect for brewing beer, and there's literally like 18 breweries all in a row, and you just go from stop to stop, and it's a very fun time. So if anyone's traveling, London, 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 L
soon. Band.
Check it out. It's very fun. It's called the Beer Mine.
Getaway for 2023.
2020 never. You are welcome, Paul. And
Right.
side note, Alarmist Pantsless is awesome. And I agree. Go Pale Ales. Woo!
And with that, we should probably end this call. Shortest pub night ever, and you can thank us later for that.
But focused.
Focused.
Short but focused,
For
which is
sure.
great.
For sure. So happy we're cutting it down to an hour and a half. Next time, hour 15. I mean, you could have cut out after an hour this time.
Listen, if we do pumpkin beers, it'll be 40 minutes.
But here's the thing:
You're
is
being
most of the
generous,
people
like
that most of the people that watch this do try to open the beers with us. So it's like if you're going to open all 4 beers, like pushing it to an hour 15, like maybe not. I mean, if you're going to do all 4, then more like an hour 45 is a better length of time.
Yeah, I mean, since these are lower ABV, I'm fine with this going a little faster. But yeah, we definitely tried to spread things out a little bit more with higher ABVs because we're like, I don't want somebody vomiting on their computer while they're watching us. That's not what we aim to do. This is one where you can probably be a hero and you'll still be ready to go for work tomorrow.
Heroes welcome.
Since you don't really have to wear pants anyway, it's fine. I have to wear pants, but y'all don't.
Wait, who doesn't have to wear pants? You're saying just a lot of business people don't.
Yeah, a lot of business people don't wear pants.
They're doing Zooms and stuff. Got real quiet.
Yeah, that's the reason the pants will do that. Awkward.
Business pants. Silence.
Business pants.
Tumbleweed. Crickets.
All right, that's it. I'm gonna end it.
Please have a body.
All right.
No, that was fun. Thanks for doing that one with us, Biz.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me, guys.
I don't know when the next one will be, but turns out once you've done it once, you are welcome to return every time for all of eternity.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
It's a heavy burden.
So again, thanks for those of you watching on YouTube. If you're not already a subscriber, please click the like and subscribe button. It goes a long way to help us getting better cameras and better things and letting YouTube crash through all the red tape so we can have enough followers to do like all the actual stuff that YouTubers do.
Right.
So make sure you like and subscribe on there. If you're watching this on Off the Walls page, make sure you like them too because they do a lot of fun things that are not related to beer, board games, cocktails, that kind of thing too. So follow them for sure. Biz, former Off the Wall employee too. We stole her over to Arlington Heights.
Got us off and running.
What? And if you're on Facebook, you probably already like us, but just make sure you let us know that you like these videos and that you enjoy doing them. They do require a fair amount of work and a Monday night for us all. So we'll keep doing them as long as people are interested. But if you don't care, then we'll just stop doing them. We'll take our Monday nights back. So please leave us comments. Let us know if you're enjoying the show and other things you want to see, and we'll be happy to kind of do what we can. We can't just do a Pliny the Elder show. We don't have that capability, but leave us things we can accomplish, and we'll do it. Yeah, of course. Josh is going to ask for a vanilla show. Big surprise.
I won't participate. I'll just be in the comments, just heckling.
Just like yo, you don't know vanilla.
You don't know Nilla like I know.
You don't know Nilla like I know Nilla. So with that, I'm going to end the stream, and all right.
The worst.
Any other final fleeting comments from anybody besides Prost?
No, just keep an eye out because we're gonna maybe do another one of these. Maybe. Yeah, if people are interested, we'll keep doing them. But if you're not, then we'll move on to vanilla. We'll do maybe another Oktoberfest one, and then maybe before you know it, we're doing a Christmas one.
What?
Winter warmers. What's up?
Are we gonna drink the entire Advent box?
Oh God.
Yeah. But over the course of 2 videos, Josh. Let's not get carried away.
Oh yeah.
2 videos. Yeah.
2.
No problem.
That's a lot of beer.
That's a lot.
12 in the first video, 12 in the second video.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We will see you for the next one whenever that happens.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Okay, Ryan, let us know when we can talk about the audience, because they're